The psychology of spending. Why you buy things you don't need. Have you ever bought something you didn't really need? A trendy gadget, a fancy coffee, or a piece of clothing that still has the tag on it. You probably told yourself it was a treat, a reward, or something you might use later. But beneath those small justifications lies a fascinating mix of psychology, marketing, and emotion. We like to think we make rational choices with our money, but in reality, much of our spending is influenced by powerful psychological triggers. Understanding them can help you take back control of your wallet and your mind. But before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on any of our upcoming videos. The emotional high of buying. Shopping often feels good because it literally makes your brain happy. When you buy something, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical associated with pleasure and reward. That's why a new purchase can lift your mood, at least temporarily. This emotional high is addictive. For some people, it's not the product they crave, but the feeling of buying it. Marketers know this and design shopping experiences, from online carts to store layouts, to keep that dopamine rush alive. But the effect doesn't last long. Once the excitement fades, the reality sets in. The item wasn't necessary, or it didn't make you as happy as you expected. This creates a loop, a cycle of emotional spending where you chase that same sense of satisfaction again and again. The illusion of treat yourself. Treat yourself has become a modern mantra. We tell ourselves we deserve something nice after a long day, a stressful week, or even a minor inconvenience. While there's nothing wrong with the occasional indulgence, this mindset can easily spiral into impulsive spending. Retailers encourage this by marketing luxury as self-care. Ads subtly suggest that happiness or confidence can be bought, whether it's a perfume, a new phone, or a weekend getaway. In truth, what we often crave isn't the product but the emotional reward it promises: comfort, validation, or status. Recognizing this distinction helps you pause and ask, do I really want this, or do I just want to feel better right now? Emotional spending. When feelings drive finances. Many people spend money not to acquire things, but to manage emotions. Feeling sad, lonely, anxious, or bored can all trigger shopping behavior. This is called emotional spending, when you buy things to fill a temporary emotional void. Retail therapy may offer short-term relief, but it often leads to guilt and regret later. Emotional spending becomes a coping mechanism, one that's hard to break because it provides a temporary sense of control or comfort. You may not be able to fix your stress at work or your relationship problems, but you can buy something instantly and feel better for a moment. Learning to recognize these emotional triggers helps you replace spending with healthier habits, like exercising, journaling, or connecting with friends. Emotional awareness is the first step toward financial control. The illusion of deserved spending. Another powerful psychological trigger is the belief that you've earned a reward. After a hard day at work, a stressful week, or achieving a goal, people often justify splurging by saying, I deserve this. While self-reward is healthy in moderation, it can easily become a habit of overindulgence. Marketers understand this mindset and exploit it through slogans like, because you're worth it, or treat yourself. These messages encourage you to equate self-care with consumption. But true self-reward doesn't have to mean spending money. It can be taking time for yourself, enjoying a hobby, or spending time with loved ones. Recognizing the difference between genuine self-care and emotional justification helps prevent unnecessary financial stress. Social pressure and the comparison trap. Social media has transformed how people perceive success and happiness. Constant exposure to curated lifestyles creates unrealistic standards. When you see influencers flaunting designer bags, luxury cars, or exotic vacations, it triggers comparison. Even if you know their lives are filtered highlights, your brain still reacts emotionally, pushing you to spend more to keep up. Psychologists call this social proof, the tendency to copy what others do to feel accepted or validated. The need to belong is a deep human instinct, and companies use it to market their products as symbols of success or social status. Breaking free from this pressure means redefining what success means to you. When you stop measuring happiness by other people's standards, you regain control over your financial decisions. The myth of saving by spending. Sales and discounts are another psychological trap that convinces you you're saving money while spending it. Words like 50% off, limited offer, or buy one get one free create urgency and excitement. Even when you don't need the item, your brain convinces you that buying it is a smart financial move. This is called the anchoring effect, where your decision is influenced by the initial price, making the discount seem irresistible. The truth is, you're not saving if you're spending on something unnecessary. Smart spending means focusing on value, not just price. Before you click buy, ask yourself if you would purchase the same item at full price. If not, you're probably being guided by impulse rather than logic. Identity and self-expression through purchases. Every purchase you make says something about who you are, or who you want to be. People use spending as a way to express identity, status, or belonging. A minimalist might buy eco-friendly products to align with their values, while a tech lover might purchase the latest gadgets to feel innovative and connected. Psychologists refer to this as symbolic self-completion, where you buy things to fill gaps in your self-image. While expressing yourself through possessions isn't inherently wrong, problems arise when your sense of worth becomes tied to material things. True confidence comes from what you create and experience, not what you own. When you understand that your value isn't defined by your possessions, your spending becomes more intentional and fulfilling. Habitual spending, the power of routine. Not all unnecessary spending comes from emotion or pressure. Sometimes it's simply habit. Grabbing coffee every morning, ordering takeout, or buying small items regularly adds up over time. The brain loves routine. It's comfortable and efficient. Once a behavior becomes habitual, it requires little conscious thought, making it easy to overspend without realizing it. Breaking these patterns means creating new habits that align with your goals. Start by tracking expenses for a week to see where your money goes. Then replace costly routines with cheaper or more meaningful alternatives. For instance, make coffee at home, pack lunches, or set a no-spend day each week. Over time, these small changes build financial discipline and awareness. The role of credit and digital payments. Digital payments have made spending easier and more dangerous. When you pay with cash, you physically see money leaving your hand, which triggers a sense of loss. With credit cards or mobile payments, that pain disappears. Psychologists call this the pain of paying. The less you feel it, the more likely you are to overspend. The convenience of one-click shopping and buy now, pay later options creates an illusion of affordability, disconnecting you from the true cost of your purchases. To regain control, try using cash or debit for daily expenses. It reconnects you to the reality of spending and makes you more mindful of each transaction. Breaking the cycle. Becoming aware of spending psychology is the first step toward breaking free from it. Start by tracking your purchases and identifying patterns. When and why do you tend to spend impulsively? Replace emotional triggers with healthier habits. Go for a walk, call a friend, or save that money for a long-term goal. Creating a cooling-off rule helps too. Wait 24 hours before buying non-essential items. If you still want it later, it's probably a genuine need. If not, you just saved yourself unnecessary expense. Another strategy is mindful budgeting. Allocate money for fun spending, so you can enjoy small indulgences guilt-free while keeping control. Remember, the goal isn't to stop spending altogether, but to spend intentionally. We live in a world that constantly tempts us to spend, but once you understand why you buy, you can take back control. Real happiness doesn't come from things. It comes from freedom, connection, and purpose. So next time you want to buy something you don't need, pause and ask yourself what you're really searching for. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like these, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on any of our upcoming videos. See you next time.